There are lives that look peaceful from the outside, quiet mornings, shared laughter, routines built on love and trust. This is not a story about rebellion or refusal of care. This is a story about trust. Trust in medicine, trust in authority, trust that what is prescribed is always safe, always necessary, always understood. I want to invite you into a gentle home where love was strong and faith in doctors were unquestioned until a body began to whisper that something was wrong. This is not a story meant to frighten you. It is meant to awaken you because sometimes the most dangerous things are hidden in shadows, but handed to us with reassurance and a signature. Welcome to Care and Memory Shadow podcast. Our discussion in this episode is the hidden dangers of prescription medications. This is a story of a life gently lived. Mornings always arrive softly at their home. Sunlight filtered through gauzy curtains, resting on polished wood floors, and the framed photographs of a life well lived. Thomas and Evelyn had mastered the art of simple joy, coffee on the porch, shared glances without words, and laughter that came easily. Evelyn moved through the world with an open heart. She was the kind of woman who noticed when someone was tired, who brought soup without being asked, who believed kindness was never wasted. She trusted people, especially doctors. To her, medicine was a miracle of modern care, a bridge between suffering and healing. Life felt safe, predictable, blessed. Evelyn believed in authority rooted in education. White coats meant knowledge. Prescriptions meant progress. When friends questioned side effects or hesitated over medications, Evelyn gently reminded them, they went to school for this. They know what they're doing. Thomas admired her faith. It made the world feel less frightening. When Evelyn volunteered at the community center or sat beside hospital beds holding hands, she spoke often of how medicine had saved lives, including her mother's. Trust, she believed, was not naive. It was necessary. It began quietly, a heaviness in her limbs she couldn't explain, a restlessness at night that made sleep feel borrowed instead of earned. Evelyn brushed it off. Aging, she said, smiling. Thomas noticed first the way her laughter ended sooner, the way she paused mid-sentence, searching for words that once came easily. Still, she waved away concern. Everyone feels off sometimes, she would say. But the body remembers what the mind tries to dismiss. The doctor's office smelled clean and reassuring. After a short visit, the diagnosis was vague. Hormonal imbalance, stress-related symptoms. The solution was simple, a prescription. Evelyn felt relieved. There was a name for what she was feeling, and there was a pill to fix it. Take this once daily, the doctor said kindly. Evelyn nodded, grateful. Trust settled deeper into her bones. The medication worked at first. Her energy returned. Her sleep improved. Thomas exhaled in relief. Then came the changes no one warned them about. Evelyn became distant, though she didn't realize it. Her optimism dulled. Her empathy, once instinctive, required effort. She felt emotions through a fog, neither fully present nor fully absent. She blamed herself. I should be more grateful, she thought. Follow-up visits led to adjustments. A second medication to counter side effects. A third to stabilize mood. Each prescription came with confidence and a calm assurance. No need to worry, the doctor said. This is very common. Thomas watched the woman he loved become quieter, less herself. When he voiced concern, Evelyn defended the treatment. This is how healing works, she insisted. Sometimes it takes time. But healing should not feel like disappearing. Evelyn's body began to speak louder. Tremors in her hands, sudden waves of fear, exhaustion that no rest could cure. Her smile became practice. Her kindness remained, but it cost her something now. She no longer volunteered. The world felt too sharp. Still, no one connected the dots. The medications were never questions, only adjusted. One afternoon, Evelyn sat alone in the garden, hands pressed to her chest, trying to remember who she used to be. Not sick, not medicated, just her. For the first time, doubt crept in, not toward herself, but toward the unquestioned trust she had carried for so long. What if the cure was part of the harm? Thomas became her advocate. He read pamphlets, searched medical journals, asked uncomfortable questions. Some doctors listened, others dismissed him. Evelyn felt both betrayed and awakened. Trust, she realized, did not mean surrendering her voice. Together, they began the slow process of unraveling, tapering medications, enduring withdrawals, relearning emotions long muted. It was not easy, but it was honest. Evelyn never lost her compassion. It matured. She still believed in medicine, but now with discernment. She spoke openly to others, not in anger, but in warning. The danger, she would say gently, is not medicine itself. It's blind trust without conversation. Thomas and Evelyn returned to their porch mornings. Life was quieter now, deeper. Their serenity was no longer fragile. It was informed. And in that awareness, they found a different kind of peace. Healing did not arrive all at once. It came in fragments. Good mornings followed by difficult afternoons. Clarity interrupted by waves of fatigue and fear. The side effects did not vanish simply because the medications were reduced. Some had already taken root. Evelyn learned something few people are told, that side effects often outlast the prescriptions. Her hands still trembled when she was tired. Her memory, once sharp and playful, sometimes faltered. There were days when emotions came rushing back too fast, unfiltered, overwhelming. The doctors called it adjustment. Online forums called it withdrawal. Others called it something else entirely, damage. The cost was not only physical. Medical bills stacked quietly on the desk. Appointments replaced vacations. Thomas reduced his hours to be present, to watch for signs, to help her through nights when sleep felt impossible. No one warned them that treatment could cost time, income, identity, and peace. And no one warned them that once a body adapts to medication, it does not simply return to its former self on command. Evelyn began to notice how often her story echoed in others. A woman at the pharmacy spoke of a pill prescribed for anxiety that left her numb for years. A man in the waiting room described memory loss after medication meant to protect his heart. A neighbor whispered about antidepressants that helped at first, then stole her motivation, her creativity, her sense of self. Different drugs, same pattern. Evelyn learned about real world realities that never made it into quick appointments. Polypharmacy, where one medication leads to another and another until the body struggles under the weight. Black box warnings, added years after drugs were approved, after harm had already occurred. Side effects labeled rare that became devastating when they happened to you. Elderly patients, especially women, disproportionately affected because their symptoms are often minimized or misattributed. She realized the system was not built on cruelty, but on speed. 15-minute visits, symptom checklists, prescriptions easier than conversations. Evelyn began to speak, not loudly, not angrily, but truthfully. She told people, ask questions, ask again, ask why, ask what happens if you stop, ask what isn't known yet. Trust, she now believed, should be partnered with knowledge, not silence. On the porch one evening, Thomas held her hand as the sun settled low, bathing the world in gold. Life was still beautiful, still worth living fully, but now it was lived with awareness. The hidden danger, Evelyn understood at last, was not medication alone. It was what happens when we stop listening to the body and give our power away without question. If you're listening to this and parts of this story felt familiar, you're not alone. So many people are living with side effects they were never warned about, carrying symptoms they blame on aging, stress, or themselves. This story is not about rejecting medicine. It's about reclaiming your voice inside the healing process. Ask questions, listen to your body, and remember, trust does not mean silence. Healing should never cost you your identity, your peace, or your ability to live a life, or even your life. Thank you for sitting in this space of awareness with me. If this story helped you, share it with someone you love. Until next time, stay informed and take care of yourself and those you love.